urgency or whatever. The impetus, I guess, when you land on the, say, the G sharp in the A melodic minor scale, is that we really kind of need to get to, sorry, we really need to get to that A once we've hit that G sharp. It's probably not a very good idea for us to hit that G sharp and then not to go ahead and lead it. But it wouldn't hurt anything to land on that G. That doesn't make you want to go to the A minor nearly as bad. All right. So in other words, if you want to go home, you can use the G sharp. If you don't want to go home, you probably shouldn't use the G sharp because you will leave us kind of hanging. Okay.
Mr. Poppy and Solfege.
If you don't do that, the scale police will come and find you.
They'll put a sack on your head and use you for hazings and college frats. You just want to say flog. No flogging, just beating. The wet noodle.
Also known as flogging.
All right. Now,
Being stoned to death with Jolly Ranchers.
Beating. Or cleats. Sorry.
I'm supposed to sort of parallel, is that a good word? I'm supposed to copy maybe what the college teaches in this same course, because some of you, well, I'm not sure if anybody is actually taking the college course, but you could take it for dual credit if you wanted it. Remind me, is anybody in here taking this for dual credit?
I think I was going to.
You were going to, but you're not.
Is it still?
I think you had to have enrolled like by January 1st or something like that.
No, I'm not.
So then, no, you're not. Yeah. All right. And by the way, even if you are going to be a music major, there are good reasons not to get this put on your transcript. Well, I don't know if there are good reasons. Well, yes, there are 600 and something good reasons not to do that now, because it costs you, 3 hours of college credit in order to do that. What you will probably do if you're going into music, they will ask you, well, if you had this on your transcript, they wouldn't ask you, they would put you in music theory 1. But if you didn't have this on your transcript, they would say you have to take music fundamentals, which is basically what this course is, or you can quiz out of fundamentals for $12, and $12 beats the heck out of 600 and something. And if you can pass that course, that test, which would be the culmination of this course, then you would get to start in Theory 1, the same as if you had taken it for credit this semester. But anyway, I am supposed to sort of mirror or parallel that course, and their course, they basically say, we're going to do so much ear training in Theory 1, 2, 3, and 4 that we don't really require as much ear training in this course, all right? In other words, they want your eyesight and eye understanding to be better than your ear to enter into Theory 1, and then they're going to beat your ears up as you go. So I kind of jump over a lot of the ear training, but I want to tell you some really cool things about the internet and ear training. There are many colleges that put on their college website a program that will allow you to drill for ear training forever. And it is so nice to have that kind of thing, because the computer can be an absolutely tireless driller for ear training. Before the internet, when I was a graduate student at K-State, I was the tireless partner of everybody in the undergraduate system who needed help with ear training. And I was not as polite as the internet would be about playing you intervals for the 6,000th time. So, and I will give you some websites when we get closer to intervals. But you can actually find things on the internet that will allow you to ear train on scales. They will just play you they will tell you, they will allow you to select only play me major scales, or only play major and minor and let me differentiate, or major and these 3 minors, or all the modes, or whatever. You can have it try to fool you in all sorts of different ways. And I recommend that you mess around with that a little bit. The repeat of beaming is on the next page, 92. The only reason I say anything about it, I could actually just jump over this, but there were several of you, and I know you're wondering why in the world you haven't gotten your tests back yet. Until Matt just walked in today, my intention was to beg Mr. Poppy to let you all come back tomorrow, and I would hand back the tests, and I would work through the sections that didn't go well for some of us, et cetera, but it sounds like Mr. Poppy would like you all there tomorrow instead of here. So I have not figured out when to give you back your tests and have you recreate your tests for more points. I will try to figure that out. I'm not sure what I'll do. I will talk to Mr. Poppy first. But anyway, the one word that some of you have not yet heard is that the pattern of beaming must not be confusing. It must show where our pulses are. And when you take a look at the second one on 93, by the way, you should probably read this whole page sometime, but take a look at the second one on 93. This pattern is confusing rhythmically because the beaming has hidden the second, third, and fourth beats of the measure. The following shows a much clearer way of writing the same pattern. In other words, in 4/4, you probably shouldn't ever see 3 eighth notes beamed unless you see a little circle and a 3 underneath it, showing that it's a triplet that all takes place on a pulse. If you have 3 plain eighth notes in 4/4, they should never be beamed together, because that covers up a beat. Now compare the top of the bad one, I should say, with the good one. Here each of the 4 beats begins, I think they mean begins, with a new beam. Remember, the reason we beam notes together is to make the rhythmic patterns easier to recognize, not more difficult. So I'll let you just read more of that. I will also tell you that, although I should probably look at it first, I'm pretty sure you don't have any more rhythm questions on the next test, wherever the next test is. Surely I will find it someday. Maybe we never had it. There we go. Test 3 is on page 147. No, there are no questions on rhythm in your third test. So you could just blow all this off. Well, it won't come back on you. But anyway, let's look over at sight singing on page 95.
What is it?
Aliens versus dinosaurs.
Go back.
Like a dinosaur dragon thing.
No.
Now, the choir
like King Kong.
regularly does some sight reading, but let me just use you, choir people, just for fun. And I'm going to have you look at that and call that do, because this is in the key of F. So would you call that do and sing the first 4 notes? The half note, the 2 eighth notes, and the half note. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. Very good. Did you notice that without being told, they sang a half step between F and E? Nobody tried to sing do, do, te, do, right? Because the whole spirit of the mechanism of solfege takes care of all that.